It's been exactly 2 years since Biden took office. Looking back on the last 2 years, two words really popped out: inflation and Russia-Ukraine conflict. These two factors are intertwined and are constantly influencing Biden's domestic and foreign policy agenda. The split structure of the US Congress after midterm elections has shifted everything from offense to defense for the second half of Biden's term. In terms of inflation, some say that reckless spending by Biden ignited the inflation fire and then has thrown more fuel on the fire. President Biden has set records for the biggest increase in spending and debt in the president's first 20 months in office. For working Americans, in just 1 year, inflation wiped out 3 years of wage gains. The Congressional Budget Office and the Penn-Wharton budget model have estimated that President Biden's inflation tax costs a typical family $5,000 a year and hits the middle class the hardest. And it's not going to be over soon. According to a recent survey, more than 90% of CEOs believe there will be a recession next year. Only a third believe it will be a short or mild recession. In terms of legislative effectiveness, The Atlantic magazine concluded the major legislative achievements made by Biden in the past 2 years can be attributed to 3 items: the $1.9 trillion new pandemic relief bill, $1 trillion infrastructure bill, and an inflation-cutting bill. As the Democratic Party lost control of the House of Representatives after the midterm elections, Biden will face dual challenges from the Republican Party and the internal divisions of the Democratic Party on how to implement these legislative achievements. In terms of diplomacy, Biden has achieved a number of firsts in 2022. His 2 trips to Europe and NATO show the importance of the situation in Ukraine in U.S. foreign affairs. Although the U.S. has always upheld its stance of firmly supporting Ukraine, it still faces uncertainties in both internal and external aspects of the Ukraine issue. With the old problems remaining, the Biden administration will usher in more constraints in 2023. At the press conference after the midterm elections, Biden made it clear that he will not change the policy direction in the next 2 years. He expressed the hope that the 2 parties in the United States can continue to cooperate on Ukraine issue. At the same time, he will not support any Republican proposal that will worsen inflation.